Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Time for the Wednesday Live. Welcome to another episode of Wired for Crappie Live. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope the Wired fam is doing well. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know we did. You guys may have seen it online on some of my posts. My wife made just a smorgasbord of food for Thanksgiving. It was all delicious. I ate way too much of it because it was so good. She even made some of my favorites that aren't her favorites, and she made them for me. So that's a good wife right there for you, no doubt. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys filled your bellies up. If you went and saw family, I hope your family's all doing well. Hope everybody is well. Who all do we have on tonight? Guys, if you don't mind, drop me a hello when you get on. Say hello. Let me know where you're from. I always like to see how far we're reaching, guys. Who all's on with us? My computer, well, StreamYard, it's not my computer, but StreamYard's being slow tonight, so I can't see anybody yet, but I know you're on here. Well, there it goes. It popped up. 30 guys watching, or girls, guys or gals watching. And I'm waiting on my chats. I don't see my chats yet. That's okay. No worries. Hey, there they are. Andy Perry, what's up? Matthew Cofelt, hello. Ron Hall from Mississippi. Jimmy Pratt, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Richard Cochran from Mathersville, Missouri. What's going on, Richard? Josh Sanders, what's up? Let's see. Chad Hillard, Slab Buster. I'm not saying that, Slab Buster. That's like cuss words up here in Tennessee. I can't say that live. Here, I'll put it up there so everybody can see it. I can't say that. You can't say that in Tennessee. It's against the law. All right. Karen H. from Chicago. What's going on? Daryl Quarles. Good evening. Good evening. Larry McBride, howdy. Bull Shoals Lake in Arkansas. What's going on, Larry? Hope Bull Shoals is fishing well. Terry Gear, asleep. Hey, what's going on, man? Rodman from Dayton, Tennessee. What's going on, buddy? Ronnie Harris, Carrollton, Georgia. What's going on? Too Small Fry, Northeastern North Carolina. What's going on, buddy? Ashley Coffee. Ashley says he's chowing down on some crappie. You lucky dog. I actually brought a few home last weekend. I did fish this last weekend, brought a few home. We'll get into the fishing in a minute. And this is like the very first time ever that I called my youngest on the way home. I'm like, hey, you want some crappie when I get home? He's like, nah. I was like, what? I told my wife, I was like, he's sick. This is it. He's rather sick or dying. Check him, get a fever, check him for everything in the world. He's got to be sick. But he wasn't, he just wasn't hungry. So very first time ever, that kid didn't want crappie. But so I've got some in the freezer. I just got to get him interested in eating, I guess. FGH, hello. He's from the land of the 3-pounders, Grenada, Mississippi. Man, I tell you, there's some big ones down there. There ain't no doubt about it. There's some big fish at Grenada. But there's some other lakes now. FGH, there's some other lakes that would probably give Grenada a run for its money, just to be honest about it. I'm sure. Brad Nelson says, audio but no video here. Guys, can you see me? I hope you can. Maybe it's Brad. Maybe Brad's computer's messing up. I hope you guys can see me. Let me know if you guys can see my face. All this beauty right here. Heidi Clark. Hello, Heidi. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. Mike S. from Texas. What's up? Steven from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Hello. Western Kentucky. Jamie Nelson. What's up? Alan Wetzel. What's going on, man? Oh, Brad said he got video back. Kip Wright, Major Brown, what's going on? Tony Tucker from South Carolina. Hello, Tony. Hey, Curtis Hobbs, update on the eye. Thank you, Curtis. Good news, eye doing good. Going to Blackshear tomorrow when it warms a little. Man, it has been cold. I ain't kidding you. Like, it just, all of a sudden, we snapped our fingers and winter set in. It has been cold in East Tennessee. I'll tell you, it's winter sometimes sneaks up on you. I guess it did on me this year because it's been warm. Our trip to Hartwell is normally cold, and it was very warm this year. As you guys saw in my video that it went out last week, I was in a short sleeve shirt, and it was very warm, unseasonably warm at Hartwell. So when it dropped off cold and snowed in East Tennessee Monday night, it was a kind of a culture shock, I guess. You know, you kind of wake up and go, oh, where'd that come from? And your body has to adjust to it. So, yeah, it's been cold. Glad to hear the eye's doing good, Curtis. Guys, if you don't know who Curtis Hobbs is, that's Mr. Lightwire Hooks himself. If you look right here over my shoulder, that is his logo, Fish the Finest, Lightwire Hooks. So that's Mr. Curtis Hobbs. Makes some great hooks. He'll make them however you want them too, guys. That's the beauty of Curtis and his hooks is you can call him and say, hey, I really want a number 2 sickle hook on a 32nd ounce round head. Can you make it with a red sickle? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. So, you know, Curtis is the man when it comes to different types of hooks and trying different hooks. And he even gets as specific as, do you want an eagle claw or a mustad, or he's pretty good. So anyway, glad to hear the eye's doing well, Curtis. And hope you do well on Blackshear. Let's see, starting to pick up a few nice fall crappie as the water cools down. Yeah, so we'll get into all that here in just a little bit. But yes, the larger fish are starting to show up a little bit. That water's cooling down. Those larger fish are starting to push up, kind of a true fall pattern. They're not staging, but they're setting up in a fall pattern, and it's starting to get really good. So I agree. Ernest Cole from Pickwick, what's going on? Heath McDaniel, good evening. Blake Hawk, what's up? What's up? See you and hear you. Prefer not to see that mug. Guys, listen. This is a perfect prelude into the discussion numero uno. So, fished this last weekend. Fished with Mr. Hawk himself, okay? Let me tell you something. That guy can shoot docks with the best of them. There ain't no doubt about it. So he stride for stride right there with me shooting docks. And you guys have seen some of my dock shooting videos. I get in some pretty tight places. And I get in some places that I guess, you know, some guys wouldn't go or wouldn't shoot. I try to get in those little nooks and crannies and those sort of things, try to get where other guys may not put a bait. But anyway, Blake stuck right there, hand in hand. I mean, excellent dock shooter. But the best part of the entire day, guys, and Blake, if I'm lying, tell him I'm lying, but we caught 175 fish conservatively. We did lose count there along the way, but conservatively, we caught 175 fish, if not more. But it was every bit of 175 fish. We caught so many fish, guys, that we started counting how many doubles we caught and kind of lost track of the total number of fish we caught. So when we started counting doubles, we actually had, 32 doubles. I think it was 32 or 33. It was either 32 or 33 doubles that we had, which the doubles, we both had to fish on at the same time. So 32 times 2 is 64. That's my math. We had that many in just doubles. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous how many fish we caught. It was a great day. We fished Chickamauga. There was an absolute onslaught of fish. I mean, it was just ridiculous how many fish we caught. And almost every time we put the boat down, we caught fish. I mean, it was just incredible. So very, very good day. Blake, you can attest to that if you will. But it was a very, very, very good day. No, I did not film the day. I'm sorry. I just went fun fishing. It was just a day to go fun fish, and we did just that. We fun fished, and it was a absolute banner day. So a lot of fun. Caught some really nice fish. I wish I would have had the fish we caught in the Chickamauga tournament that I fished the week before, because it probably would have been pretty daggum tight if I would have had those fish in the tournament. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. Had a blast. Had a great time with Blake. Blake's a great guy. And if you don't know about Crappie Cove in Maryville, inside Gunny's in Maryville, Tennessee, they are a sponsor for the channel. Blake does own Gunny's, okay? And they do offer you guys 10% off at Crappie Cove. So they have a website. You can go to crappiecove.com. You can order there. If you want the Wired discount, Wired is the discount, guys, WIRED. That's 10% off. You have to call. So you go on the website, figure out what you want, give them a call, give them all the item numbers and stuff. They'll ship it out to you, 10% off with the Wired discount. Thank you to them for that, because that helps you guys out, and I appreciate them doing that for you guys. So check them out. Get you some Crappie Cove merch. Get some baits, and they've got all the good stuff. They've got light wire hooks in there too. So they got Mr. Curtis Hobbs sending them some hooks, so you guys can pick some up from them. But did you guys take part in any of the, I guess, Black Friday, Monday, Cyber Monday madness that took place over the weekend? I know I did a live Monday for Cyber Monday. ACC had a discount code. Bonehead had a discount code. Wired for Crappie had a discount code. Now, for those of you that probably may have missed that live, I actually extended the discount code on, and it's not a code, it's just a discount. Everything is 15 to 20% off on wiredforcrappie.com. So if you guys want some Wired for Crappie merch, you want hats, hoodies, shirts, beanies, mugs, any of that, you can go to wiredforcrappie.com, and they're still on sale. I wanted to leave that stuff on sale so that I could talk to you guys tonight, and you guys could have a chance to go on there and purchase your merchandise at a discount. So 15 to 20% off. Tonight will be the last night of that sale. Okay, everything will come off sale tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in purchasing any of that, please do it tonight, okay? Because it will expire and they will go back to regular prices. Clint Mayer, what's up? Larry McBride says, hey, Matt, you ever fish under the lights? So I do fish under lights some, yes. However, I don't do it much anymore because I have 2 young kids and I can't stay up all night. My kids keep me up all next day, and then I'm dragging for 4 days. So I don't do any night fishing anymore, but I have, yeah. And generally, for me, I can catch just as many. I can catch more fish during the day than I can at night because I can move around the lake and I can fish a whole lot of different spots. I don't like trying to move around the lake a whole lot at night, so I just don't do a whole lot of night fishing anymore. Aaron Recht, hey Matt, what's up? Aaron from Riceville. I fished Chick at Goodfield this morning. The water was super low and they were still pulling, only 2 keepers. Yeah, I don't know why they're still pulling, Aaron. I mean, they've been pulling Chickamauga for, weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down any, but I had never seen chick this low. We came back Sunday from fishing, and it was no joke. When we come across 58, it was no joke. I mean, you could see everything except for the river channel. The river channel was just about all that was left. I mean, it was incredible how low it was. And there was a huge island on the left side of the bridge, the downstream side of the bridge, that I don't think I've ever seen before, that was sticking up. So yeah, it was pretty incredible how low Chickamauga is. I don't know why they're still pulling it. Maybe they're expecting a huge storm system to come through or something. I don't know, but or maybe they're draining it so they can get Loudon down and some of the other lakes down. I don't know. We'll see. I hope it comes back up some because it's extremely low. JT's all outdoors. What's going on? Yeah, there's Blake. 33 doubles. Yeah. I mean, we caught the crud out of them. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Paul says, thanks for the video on chick. Yeah, you're welcome, Paul. My office is starting to warm up, guys. I've got a heater in my office, and it is starting to get warm. I'm rather going to have to do a little show for you guys, take this hoodie off, or I'm going to have to turn the heater off, one of the two here in just a minute. I'm sure y'all would rather me turn the heater off. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Blake said no live scope either. Great time. That's right. I got about halfway to the lake, guys, and I went, I left my battery at home. As a matter of fact, it's still sitting on my desk. That is now amped outdoors, by the way. They used to be energized outdoors. Now they're amped outdoors. So that tells you how long I've been running their batteries. But this is one of the old energized outdoors before they switched over to amped. So yeah, I've been running this battery for a while and I really like it. But yeah, no live scope. We did not have live scope. We caught them on laydowns. We caught them on brush. We caught them on trees, stumps, docks. Did we catch open water fish? I don't remember. I don't remember if we threw to open water fish or not. We saw a lot of open water fish, but I don't think we threw to any of them. We caught them on everything else, though, with no live scope. So it was a lot of fun. Back to watching the line, it was just a blast. Jody Gosway, is the tournament still going to put in at Carbide Park on the 12th? Jody, no. Jody, that's Melton Hill. Melton Hill tournament was last month. The 12th is Fort Loudon. So we will be on Fort Loudon on the 12th. Rodman Fishing bought some bonehead baits. Well, have you got to use them yet? That's awesome. They're great baits. Have you got them yet, Rodman? If you have, I'm sure you can tell the density of that body is just so much different than any other bait on the market, really. Look, and I'll say it. I said it last month. I'll say it again. There's a lot of good baits on the market, but there's certain qualities to some baits that just stand up better than the rest, right? And the density of that body right there that allows you to catch multiple fish without your hook tearing through that body is a huge plus. I mean, we were catching fish on chick left and right and, just kept catching. Now Blake was using a hair fly that he ties. He ties his own flies that he fishes with, and he was using that most of the day. But the bodies are just so durable. So you can catch multiple fish on them, and they catch fish. They just flat out catch fish. So hopefully you'll enjoy them, Rodman. Let me know how you like them. All right, hang on. I gotta turn that heater off. It's killing me. Phew, I may have to open a window. All right, Blake says, Matt, Crappie Cove gave away an ACC rod for customers who shopped over the weekend. Had the drawing today, and Major Brown was our winner. Congrats, Major Brown, on the new ACC rod. That's awesome. That is awesome. Major Brown says, thank you. Crappie Cove is the bomb. Lady on the phone was super nice. Guys, I hear it over and over and over again. The employees there are so awesome. They're so nice. They're there to help. They love helping people. They're just geared that way, and they just have a great experience from the time you call or the time you walk in the door to the time you get off the phone or leave. They're just good people. So yes, Crappie Cove is the bomb. Congratulations, Major Brown, on your win on the rod. All right, let's talk a little bit about the title of today, okay? So the title for the live, technology is too much, right? What is everybody? There's this whole thing going on right now, and you see it. Some people love live scope. Some people hate live scope. Some people think that technology has gone too far. Some people think that there's better things to come. Some people are loving it because they can go out and have a productive day. They may not get to fish much. They only get to fish once or twice a month. And it allows them to go catch fish and have fun while they're on the water. There's so many different outlooks on live scope. And look, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You will never, ever hear me go up against somebody on their opinion in a derogatory manner. Okay. I hope, let's say that. So there are some guys out there that I've seen recently. Somebody comment on their posts, or they do a live scope video or something, and they get comments back that they're cheating, or they wouldn't be the angler they were without the live scope, and this, that, and the other. And you see all these different comments, and you see these guys, these influencers, they go back and they yada 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 back and forth. Look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. If they want to. If they don't like it, they don't have to. Okay. Live scope is a tool. It's not a necessity. So I want to start out by saying, if you don't like live scope, or you don't feel that live scope is fair, you don't have to use it. There's nothing that says you have to put it in your boat. You can keep it old school, fishing for fun, catch them or don't catch them. Don't need to see them. Don't care if they're there. Don't care if they're watching a jig swim by and they won't hit it. It's old school. If you want to be that, that's fine. You don't have to have live scope. But live scope, I have seen personally live scope change the mindset for people that gave up fishing or never wanted to go fishing because they didn't know how. They don't understand how a crappie reacts or behaves, or where to find crappie, or where to look for fish, or they just go out there they'd go out in the morning, they'd walk over, get on the boat, and they'd go out and they'd throw a shad wrap down a bank because that's what they thought the Bassmaster guys did. And the next thing you know, they come back and they ain't caught no fish, and they just give it up eventually because they get frustrated, right? Live scope is allowing people to learn, to be more productive, and have fun while on the lake. So I've seen it multiple times. Not only have I talked to people that it's changed their mindset, but I've had it happen in my own boat where people say, I'll try it again, but I gave up fishing. I'm tired of fishing. I never caught anything. It was just miserable. Go out there and sit around for hours and not do any good. Get them in a boat, get them back interested in fishing. Kids, my gosh, guys, today with technology going the way it is, in the home and in workplaces, in schools, I can take my 13-year-old who's geared towards computer technology, put him in the boat in front of that live scope, and it's like a light switch flips. And all of a sudden it's fun. And all of a sudden he wants to do it again, and he wants to do it more. And it's like, how do you get upset about that? So do you have to have it? No. Blake and I proved that Sunday. We caught 175 plus fish, didn't have a live scope in the boat at all. Well, it was in the boat. It just wasn't operating because it didn't have a battery hooked to it. So, you don't have to have it, but there's benefits to everything, right? And, a lot of these guys and a lot of people think that live scope, well, for whatever reason, and I'm not here to I guess I've got off on this subject wrong, but you don't hear anybody complaining about the new iPhone 12. Technologies went too far. Well, you don't hear any of that. You don't hear people that, can start their truck from their bed and then go out and get in a warm truck. You hear that's too much. It's all this different stuff. So in my opinion, I would say technology is technology. It is what it is. We have brilliant people in this country, brilliant people in this world, and they're going to continue to invent new, innovative things that allow people to be more successful and better and have a better time on the water and enjoy themselves more. That's my opinion. Well, what's you guys' opinion? Do you guys feel it's too much, too far? I'll tell you this, the flip side of that is population. Do I worry about the crappie population? Well, I go back and forth. Do I worry about, is there going to be a point where everyone has live scope and the next thing you know, you're struggling to catch a bunch of fish? Hang on just a second. I saw a super chat come in. Blake Hawk, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. Guys, if you don't know what a super sticker or a super chat is, that's a way for you guys to give back to the channel, to help support the channel, to keep me on the water, making great content for you guys to watch every week. Guys, it is a grind to do YouTube. I'm telling you. It is a grind. It is an ongoing, everyday thinking about content, filming content, cutting content, uploading content. It is a grind, guys. And not only that, but I have to be on the water every single week filming for you guys, right? So that I can keep content coming. And there's cost to all that. So cameras and all that good stuff. I did get a new mount for my camera, which I told you guys a couple weeks ago I broke. I did order a new mount and it's in, so I'm good to go on my mount. But thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. And guys, if you don't know how to give a super chat, right down below where it says post a comment, there's a little money symbol. You click on that and it walks you through how to give a super chat. Okay, guys? So thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all super chats that are given to this channel. That goes right back into crappie fishing and making good content for you guys. So thank you very much. All right, so do I worry about population? I think, in all honesty, in some lakes in East Tennessee, could it hurt some lakes? I think it could. Would it help some lakes? I think it would. I mean, again, Blake and I caught 175 on Chick pretty easy. I mean, it was pretty easy. We didn't have live scope and caught 175. I think some of these lakes would benefit from some of these crappie getting taken out. It would allow more forage for the fish that are left, and it would allow them to grow a little bigger. I think a lot of the fish in East Tennessee get stunted because there's so many fish in our lakes that they compete for forage, they compete for food, and it takes them longer to grow. So yeah, I think it would help some lakes. I think it would hurt some lakes. Some of the lakes that don't have as dense of a population of crappie, it could hurt eventually, but that's all yet to be seen. There's no, I mean, I guess TWRA is probably trying to watch it, but I don't know. That will be left up to years and years of trial and error, I guess. We'll see what happens, but I don't think technology, in my opinion, I don't think technology is a bad thing. I think anytime you can help anglers be more successful and help anglers with the want to go back and fish again, LiveScope puts a want to go fish in a lot of people because they can then see the fish, they see them strike, they are productive, they catch fish, and they go back. So I think for the industry's sake, it's a good thing. That's me. Let's see what you guys are saying. So Heath says maybe they're expecting 5 inches of rain in a week like last year. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe that's why they're dropping the lake so much. All right, Brad Nelson has a question. Got a question, Matt, on your live scope when you are searching for brush piles and have your forward range set for like 50 feet. Do you need to increase your gain to see out that far compared to 10 feet? No. No, Brad, you do not. Again, guys, I run my gain on my live scope. Hang on. I'm thinking that by increasing the gain, you're increasing the transmit power from the transducer. You are. That is correct, Brad. You are. But it's more relative to the depth than it is to the length. Does that make sense? So the depth is going to be more, it's going to dictate more of your gain level than the view out in front of you. Okay. My live scope settings, okay, I run my gain on auto medium. I never take it off auto medium. Auto medium, look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The engineers at Garmin are smart, a lot smarter than I am, a lot smarter. And they put auto low, auto medium, and auto high in your unit, okay, on the gain for a reason. I run auto medium and it's flawless, absolutely flawless. It adjusts on its own, it adjusts with your depth, and every time you pick up, put down, pick up, put down, pick up, put down, it sets itself automatically for the best picture, and it gives you the best picture. Now, I know you guys have seen some of my live scope videos. I think the very first video I did use to self-adjust the gain, but since then, I have stopped doing that. I reset back to factory settings, and I run auto medium on my gain. Those guys are smart over at Garmin. Trust me. If you run auto medium, you will not be mad at me. Try it out. If it doesn't work, let me know. But I'm telling you, you run auto medium, Brad, you won't have to worry about it anymore. Okay. Set it, forget it. The only thing you have to adjust at that point is your depth. That's it. Adjust your depth up and down. Auto medium, my friend. Let it roll. Just try it. Don't shoot me down when I'm preaching good. Just try it. Okay. Please. Hold up. Major Brown. It's better to know how to fish by feel, not by sight, looking at a screen. Learn the basics first and add on to your toolbox to make your craft easier. Thank you, Major Brown, for the super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. That'll go right back into crappie fishing, making good content for you guys. Okay, so I appreciate that first and foremost. Now, let's talk about the toolbox. Yes, the toolbox, absolutely. I'm 100% believer in that. Fish by feel first, then pick live scope up. But it's also a tool, Major, that some people can look. How do I say this? Some anglers can jump right into live scope and have fun. Fishing's about having fun, guys. It's not about tournaments. It's not about what bait you use. It's not about what rod you use. I prefer the ACC, but okay. It's not about any of that. It's not about, who catches the biggest one, who catches the most. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you didn't have fun, if you're not out there having a good time, none of it matters. Doesn't matter who has the fastest boat. Doesn't matter who has the best and newest, right? If you're not having fun. So at the end of the day, Major, I'll agree with you 100%. The basics, you have to, it's like building a house, guys. If you don't dig a footer and put the house on a good foundation, it's not going to last long. I'll agree to that, Major, 100%. But there's a lot of people out there that maybe wouldn't take that leap to go learn without the technology. We've become so technology dependent that there's a lot of people out there that might not even try to fish without it. If they experience it once and have a good day and have fun, that may get them out there. And look, I've had people on guide trips that they don't know how to fish. They've never caught fish before. They just want to learn to catch fish, and then they show up and they use live scope and they have fun, and it turns something on within them, and they say, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna start doing this. That was a lot of fun, and for that simple purpose, I would probably say, or I would say that the technology will help the sport regardless. It will help grow the sport. And as the sport grows, there's more people that start looking at crappie fishing. There's more things that are developed. There's more people that put their money into developing products. There's just so much more stuff that we as fishermen get to see and look at and use, and it grows, right? So for that reason, I do like the live scope and where it's going. I really do. All right. Let's see. Daryl Quarles says the chick is almost 8 foot below summer pool. Yeah, it's low. It's low. That's no doubt. It is low. I don't know that I've ever seen chick that low. I'm not sure what they're drawing it down so low for, but they have got it. I mean, they have got it sucked down. But doesn't seem to be affecting the fish that much. They're still out there biting. Steven says left battery at home. Checklists are the way to go. Yeah. I have a checklist right here. I keep it and I always follow it. And it's always this. That's why when I take people fishing, sometimes I borderline offend people. Seriously. I sometimes borderline offend people because they're like, oh, I got that. I'm like, no, I got it. Please just don't touch anything. I got it. Because if I get out of my routine, I'm going to forget something. And so like I said, I sometimes borderline offend people when they go fishing with me because they're like, you want me to put you in? No. You want me to strap? No. You want me to, no, just bear with me. because if I get out of my routine, I will forget something. And I got out of my routine that morning because I was running a little late. And so I was kind of off my game a little bit, and I got halfway there, and my battery was at home. So, hey, but it turned out all right. It didn't hurt none. That's for sure. Slab Buster said, the only thing I hate about LiveScope is I don't have one. Well, look, you got Hummingbird that's coming out with their version of LiveScope. You've got Lourance coming out with their version of LiveScope. It's going to get interesting in the market. Okay, if Hummingbird can find a way to be as clear and competitive as far as picture is concerned, if Lourance can figure out how to be competitive as far as picture is concerned, there's going to be some shifting in the pricing. There's going to be some movement. Right now, Garmin's got the market cornered. They really don't have anybody that's climbing up their back with a product that's as good as theirs. So you haven't seen a whole lot of fluctuation in the price. I mean, it is what it is. You get it or you don't. So, with all these different units coming out, and I can talk a little bit about them because I have been looking at them. I have been researching them. I've been talking to some people within the industry that have gotten their hands on some of this stuff and been able to, start seeing and feeling this stuff. The thought is it's going to be competitive. Okay. The Hummingbird unit, I saw a YouTube video where somebody kind of took pictures of their transducer and said, I don't see how this is going to be comparative. Well, yeah, you don't really understand what all's in there until, so Hummingbird's transducer, the way it's orientated and built, it has a circular beam in it to where LiveScope has a 3-beam system where they can, it's different angles, and then they put those together. Hummingbird's got kind of a half moon shaped element that will allow them to get a full field of view. I don't know. Is that element going to be better than LiveScope because it's a solid element versus a 3-system element that they're piecing together to where, some guys get some blind spots and things in LiveScope? I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay. So there's a lot of positives coming with Hummingbird and with Lourance. I'm a Lourance guy. You guys know that. I'm a Lourance guy on the dashboard, but I'm a Garmin guy up front. Okay. So I've got 2 business stations. I've got Lourance units on my dash, which is business station number 1, numero uno. Got to find the structure first. You can be more efficient, move around faster with side imaging than you can with LiveScope unit. So, that's battle station number 1. Then battle station number 2 is right up there up front with that LiveScope, guys. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. I really am, because I would love for more people to get involved with the LiveScope and be able to experience and learn. That's my thing. You guys know I love to teach. I love to help you guys grow as crappie fishermen and anglers. That's my passion. I love to take information that I've learned and just spill it, just spew it out. And that's who I am. But, the LiveScope allows you to learn so much faster than I could teach anybody, because it's real time. You're watching it. You see fish, you see a bait down there, and you figure out real quick, are they going to eat it or not? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? It's just that simple. So it's a great teaching tool. So anyway, I'm hopeful that there's going to be some competition in the market and the pricing will come down. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun for sure. Josh Sanders says, I've never fished with electronics until I got my boat this May. Dad's boat never had anything. I'm so much more efficient with my side imaging and LiveScope. It's fun to catch fish quicker with tech. It is. It's just fun to catch fish. And whether it's with tech or without tech, Blake can tell you guys, if Blake's still on here, we didn't even use side imaging. Well, I take that back. Whoa, my roll. Half the areas we fished, we didn't even use side imaging. We just pulled up and fished them. We didn't even turn the unit on. And then after about half the day, I said, let's go find some new stuff. Let's go find some new, let's venture out and go looking. And he said, okay. So, I mean, we had literally caught so many fish at that point. It was like, let's go see if we can't just try some. You guys know me. I've said it before. And I've said it before about 10 times tonight. But I like to fish half a day. I like to look half a day. That's who I am. That's what I like. All right. So we went out searching and found probably a dozen new spots that I didn't know about, and stopped and caught fish off of them. So we did use the side imaging for a little bit that day, but yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, catching fish, tech or no tech, is so much fun. Here's a good question. Larry McBride, what should be your first buy, live scope or side scan? Without a shadow of a doubt, Larry, side scan should be your first buy. Okay, without a shadow of a doubt. Unless you fish a lake, then you've already got 3,000 different brush piles marked. Let's say you've got a handheld GPS and you've already got 350 brush piles marked on your lake, and you already know where you're going to fish most all the time you go to the lake, and you're not interested in venturing out. You're not interested in going to new water and fishing new lakes and moving around. And, let's just say you're a homebody at best, and all you want to do is fish your lake, and let's say you put the brush piles out and you put 250 brush piles out. Okay. You don't need the side scan because you don't need to go find new stuff. You've already got all your stuff out. So then I would buy live scope. Okay. Here's what I'm telling people, and you guys can take it for what it's worth. I run Lourances because I love them. I absolutely love my Lourances. I am not sponsored by any electronic company yet. But the Garmin side imaging, Larry, if you're gonna buy a side imaging unit and you're going to consider buying live scope one day, look at the Garmin units for side imaging too. Okay, I've run it all. I've run Hummingbirds, I've run Lourances, and I've run Garmins. And Lourance is my first choice, without a shadow of a doubt, for side imaging. Sorry, I got something in my eye, guys. But a close second to that is Garmin. Now, what I like about Garmin, it's straight out of the box. And that's really what got me with my live scope to say, okay, I'm going back to what their settings are. I'm going back to my auto gain, because when I had my Garmin strikers, they were right out of the box on the boat, never touched. I mean, perfect pictures, great pictures. Straight out of the box, auto settings, great picture from Garmin, side imaging wise. Okay. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, if they're that good with side imaging, why wouldn't they be that good with the live scope? So I started running auto medium on my gain. Beautiful pictures, absolutely beautiful. So if you're going to get live scope at some point, look at the Garmin units that are compatible with live scope that you can run side imaging on first. That way, if you want to find a bunch of structure and because when you find structure, Larry, you can put a buoy on it and you can catch fish. Live scope can come later. See what I'm saying? Thank you, Blake. 67 viewers. Hit the thumbs up. Got 84 now. 84 people watching. Smash that thumbs up for me, guys. Please, please. That just lets live scope. That just lets YouTube know that, hey, you guys are enjoying the content, and it lets people that are scrolling through content, they look at those likes, and it lets them know that it's good content too, and they should watch it. So smash that thumbs up for me, please, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you, Blake, for the reminder. Yep, Steven, there's another live scope side scan with marker buoy bundle. Yep, side scan with a marker buoy. Side scan first from Josh. Josh has a comment. It's about the same as I said. I mean, it side scan first. Heath McDaniel said, I just can't afford one. I would like to have one, but my boat is old school still. Has a 1984 Proline trolling motor and no bow fish finder. Heath, there's nothing wrong with that, buddy. Nothing at all wrong with that. Listen, I should have said that first, probably. Ain't nothing wrong if you guys don't have a live scope, you don't have fish finder on the boat, you don't have the Ultrex on the front. Like I said, none of that matters at the end of the day, guys, unless you're having fun. Heath, do you go out and have fun when you go fishing? That's all that matters, man. That's it. That's what we're here to do. And, as we grow as anglers and as we get more involved with the technologies and purchasing these things, then they're there for you when you want to get them or can get them. And, they become tools at that point. So absolutely nothing in the world wrong with, look, my first boat, guys, was a 12-foot. Let's see if I have a picture of it. I think I have a picture of it on my Facebook, I think. My first boat was a 12-foot semi-V Alumacraft with a 6-horse Evinrude. It was a 1969 Evinrude. And let me tell you something. My buddy, one of my lifelong friends and still friends, has that boat now because he had a son at the time. I was looking at getting a new boat. I was blessed with a new boat, and not new, but new to me. I was blessed with a new boat. Got a really, really good deal on one. And I told my wife one day I just felt led to take that boat and give it to my friend. And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "I'm positive. I think that's what I need to do. I think I should just give it to him, and he'll be able to take his son fishing. And I've got a boat that I can use." So I got a new to me boat that I was blessed with a good deal, and I want to do it. So I took it down. Actually, I bought a hitch, took it down, put the hitch on the back of his Jeep, put the boat on it, and left. Never told him nothing about it. He calls me like 4 or 5 hours later, and he says, "Hey, your boat's hooked to the back of my truck." I was like, "My boat's not hooked to the back of your Jeep." He goes, "Yeah, it is. It's pretty hooked up to the back of my Jeep. Yeah, it pretty much is." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I said, I own a bass tracker. I don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, "Okay. Yeah." I was like, "That's not my boat. That's your boat." He said, "Nuh-uh." I said, "Yeah, that's yours." I said, "It's not mine." He was ecstatic. And that was one of the highlights of my life. I'll always remember that. So anyway, I was blessed to be a blessing that day, and it was a really good time. So anyway, as I look for the picture of this boat, I don't have one. Gosh, I thought I had one. Anyway, it was my baby for years, okay? So it doesn't matter where you're at, what you got, what you're fishing with, but I had a lot of fun in that boat, let me tell you. And that 69 Evinrude, let me tell you, I wish I still had that motor. That motor would flat out run, son. I mean, I can remember pulling that thing off. And he's just going about 4 miles an hour across the lake, and you're like, I'm getting it. So it was a lot of fun. I loved that boat. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a story. Let's see. Jimmy Pratt says, "Same group of people." Come on now, Jimmy. There's no groups of people. Come on now. Complain about crossbows too. Matt got me hooked big time, and now I have introduced several people, and now they're hooked. So, yeah. So Jimmy's one of the guys that, Jimmy was a fisherman, but he's a trout fisherman, and he liked to trout fish. And we went on a trip. He went with me on a guide trip, and I introduced him to live scope, and now he's hooked. He's a crappie fisherman through and through. He goes all the time. He goes more than I do. I'm jealous of him, to be honest about it, because he gets to go fishing more than me. But no, he he loves it. He just absolutely loves it. And it's the technology, guys. It makes it fun for people to go fishing again. And if we're not careful, if we're not doing things to help people have fun on the water, and have an enjoyable day, fishing's going to go by the wayside eventually. Look at the hunting industry. The hunting industry over the course of years, has dwindled. Why? Now, it's went way up this year because of everything that's been going on this year, but it has dwindled as a whole. And why? I honestly feel like, first of all, there's this huge cloud around shooting does or small deer, bucks and things. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. I mean, there's this huge stigma about you have to kill something that, you got to take to the process or take to the taxidermist, or, you're horrible for it. I won't get off on that tangent, but we have to be careful with those things. We don't need to shame people, no matter where you're at or what fish you're catching, whether they're 3 pounders or 1 pounders or three quarters of a pound. You're catching fish. You're out there having fun. And that's what it's all about, is having fun. And I'm going to keep having fun. And I know you guys are going to keep having fun. So that's what it's all about, right? So Heidi, Heidi says, I just hope that technology doesn't eliminate the fish population, so then no one can catch fish. Do I think that LiveScope is going to? Look, Heidi, I said it earlier. I don't think it's going to eliminate the fish population. Okay. At the end of the day, people are only allowed by law to take so many fish out of the lake. Now, does LiveScope get you those 15 fish quicker? Yeah, but most good anglers are going to get their 15 fish in a day's time, most of the time. That's East Tennessee laws. It's 10 inches, 15 fish per person per day. Most of the time, they're going to get that if they're a good angler and they're fishing in a good spot. Does LiveScope help with that? Yeah, it does. But I think because TWRA, first of all, TWRA does in Tennessee does enough studies and does enough watching the lakes and watching the populations and listening to the anglers. Okay. If that starts to happen, there's going to be a trickle effect of that. There's going to be talk about it. There's going to be anglers that like myself that have fished for years, caught tons of crappie, know where the crappie stay, know what population kind of looks like as far as, because I fish every lake in East Tennessee with the exception of some of the far northern lakes of East Tennessee. But, running the crappie club, I'm able to watch the weights on these lakes, and I've got every set of tournament results, Heidi, from the very beginning of our club for every lake we fished, every year we fished it with side by side. And I can tell you what the weights are doing every year. I can tell you when they're going up. I can tell you when they're going down. I can tell you when I've got all that data. I've kept it because I'm a data driven person. I'm an Excel nut. I love Excel. Part of my trade in real life involves Excel, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I have all that data. I have graphs and curves. I can show it all to you. It's pretty, for me, it's pretty cool. So I can watch those lakes. Maybe we'll go over that one day. Maybe we'll go over some of those charts and show you the ebbs and tides and the highs and the lows of these different lakes in East Tennessee. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, maybe I can use that, put it on the channel. Would you guys like to see it? Let me know. Anyway, guys like myself that have all that data and can say, ho, slow down here. LiveScope first came out and we saw weights and tournaments do this. Now we're seeing weights do this. There's something going on. Hey, guys, can y'all look at this? Can you start studying this? Can you see what the population's doing? Can you, we used to go catch 175 fish in a day. Now we're catching 14 to be lucky. Those types of things are going to come through. And as that happens, the wildlife officers are going to adjust to that. The limits would change if need be. And I don't think it'll ever be a population issue. I really don't. I really think they've got their finger on that enough that I don't think we'll ever have that problem. Jimmy Pratt says most will learn to throw crappie back just like the bass guys do. So thank you, Jimmy, for bringing that up. I appreciate it. I was going to talk about that this evening. I'll talk about it a little bit now. Look, you guys watch my videos, okay? You guys know I do throw most of my fish back, especially the larger fish, okay? I challenge each and every one of you, keep what you're going to eat and then throw the rest back. Let somebody else experience that same joy you experience by catching those fish. If you want to eat fish, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I love eating crappie. Absolutely love crappie. Right now, I've got 2 bags of crappie in my freezer. Each bag has 10 fillets in it. So I have 20 fillets in the freezer. That's 2 meals for me and my kids. I generally keep 2 meals in the freezer. Once I run out of those 2 meals, I go fishing. Okay. Yes, I know guys that I know one guy, unfortunately, he's an older gentleman. He fishes Teleco a lot. He has a deep freeze that is just crappie. A whole deep freeze, a big deep freeze that is slum full of nothing but crappie. If he catches one 10 inches, it don't go back. And I try to convince him, please put some fish back. You ain't got to keep all them fish. You ain't never going to eat all them fish. Them fish going to go bad before you eat them all. Well, if it ever goes south, I've got plenty to eat. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I understand. I can't tell you not to do it. You're allowed to do it. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, I care, but, there's nothing I can do. It's a resource, and we should all do our part to help that resource be sustainable. And throwing fish back is the way to do that, guys. I mean, you don't have to always keep a fish if it's over 10. Now, I will say this. I'm not a big fan of mushy fish, so if I catch one over 12 inches, I throw it back anyway because I'm not a fan of thick fillets. I like them crispy. So I'm looking for that 10 to 10 and a half inch fish that I can take home. They're 10 to 11. 10 to 11 is kind of where I like to be. I'll keep them up to 12, but after that, I throw them back. Those big fish, guys, it's sheer numbers. It's sheer size, right? So a larger fish is going to lay more eggs every year. She's gonna produce more fry. So those bigger fish, catch them, take your photos with them, toss them back. As live scope gets more popular and fish become easier to catch because you have live scope on your boat, you can afford to throw those larger fish back. Let them go spawn. Let them be your spawners. Let them produce more crappie for us to catch, and take those 10 to 12 inch fish home. If that's the size limit. If your size limit, if there is no size limit, I challenge you, set a goal for yourself. Say, hey, I'm going to keep fish from 8 to 12 inches, and I'm not keeping anything else. Or I'm going to keep fish 9 to 12, 10 to 12, whatever your preference is, 9 to 13. And then if it doesn't fit that bar for you, let it go. You know what I mean? Then it becomes challenging. Then it becomes fun again. You're thinking to yourself, okay, I want to take some home to eat today, but then I want to catch some big ones. So I'm going to go catch and for me, my number is 6. 6 fish. I take that home. That's a good meal for my family. And sometimes I'll take 6 and put in one bag, 6 fillets in another bag, and it's 2 meals. So anyway, I set that for myself, 10 to 12, and throw everything back, everything else. And it becomes a lot of fun at that point. And it's kind of challenging yourself. Can I catch 6 fish today in that slot limit? You know what I mean? So just some things to think about. Thank you, Jimmy, for the comment. Throw them back. If you're not going to eat them, throw them back. Don't put fish in the freezer that go to waste. Okay. I know some people like to take large amounts of fish home and give them to their friends. Okay. That's your personal preference too, if you want to do that. But make sure they get eaten. That's how we can help sustain the resource. All right. Kenneth Pippins, Matt, what size lithium battery do you have? I have a 30 amp hour. Let's see if you guys can read the side of this. Let's see. All right. So there you go. That is a 12.8 volt, 30 amp hour lithium battery. 30 amp. The max current's 30 amp. Okay. Now, I will say this with the amped outdoor batteries. Read this first line right here. Use only with recommended battery charger. Okay. Amped Outdoors sells battery chargers, Kenneth. Buy their battery charger. I'm telling you this for multiple reasons. One, because the battery says to use it. Now, do I believe that is the only reason? No. A lithium battery will charge past 12 volts. It will actually charge almost to 14 volts. A regular 12 volt charger will not charge that battery past 12.4, I believe it is. A regular 12 volt charger will charge a battery up to 12.4 and then cut off. It will stop charging at that point at 100%. It thinks it's at 100%. So in order to get the full charge on that battery, you have to get their charger to allow it to charge to a full charge. Okay? Does that make sense? But it is a 30 amp hour. I'm pretty sure I hear my son choking or coughing. I hear my wife talking, so she's in there. The joys of parenthood. I hadn't been yelled at yet, so I think everything's okay. All right. So Slabbuster says 90% of the time I throw them back anyway. Yep. I mean, that's great, guys. Yeah, here's Blake. Plus, we only kept 12 to eat. Big factor is don't take all the fish out. Take what you want to use, then release the big ones. Yeah, so Blake and I, like I told you guys, we caught over 175 fish. We took 12 home. I took 6, he took 6, and that was a meal. So actually, like I said, 2 for me. But we took a couple and put the rest back. It's a fun day. Slabbuster says, Blake, in the spring when I catch females with eggs, I throw them back to make them babies. Yeah, if you see the roe, let them go. That's what I've always heard. If you see the roe, let them go. You see the eggs, toss them back. So that's another thing that I do in the spring is I don't hardly take fish home in the spring. But when I do, I try to take males, yes. If I see a fish with a big old fat belly, I generally put her back. There's just no sense in taking her out. Now, look, is somebody going to come? It's like the deer that you let walk, right? It's like, well, I saw a 6-pointer this morning. I let him walk. He walked over the hill, and I heard a shot. I don't know. Maybe he got shot over the hill. Well, maybe he did. And if he did, fine. But when you saw him, you did your part, right? So those fish may go get caught again and get taken home. If they do, great. But it's better than you taking him home. It's better than you shooting that 6-pointer and the 4-pointer with him running over the hill and getting shot. So, you know what I mean? Jody says, yeah, Fort Loudon is what I meant. The ramp that has the big hole in it on the left side. Does have a big hole in it. So East Tennessee Crappie Club is scheduled to fish Loudon on the 12th. It's supposed to go out of Concord, Jody, and that may get moved. They've got the lake so dadgum low right now that Concord is almost unlaunchable. And so we may move that. We'll probably drive by. I will probably drive by the ramp sometime this week or next week, and then I will look at the predicted lake levels and see if it's going to come up or go down or be the same. And then we'll make a decision if we're going to move the tournament. Okay. So right now it's at Concord, Jody, but that could change. Okay. Guys, I'm way behind on my comments. Now, we're going to try to get to them all. If I haven't got to your comment, and for the new watchers we have tonight, first of all, let me say welcome to the Wired fam. Welcome to the lives. I try to answer every question, every comment. I try to get to everybody. If you leave a super chat, if you throw a super chat out, I stop what I'm doing immediately or as close to immediately as I can when I see it. Let's say that. I stop and I answer that super chat. So if you've got something that you want answered and you're afraid I won't get to you, throw out a super chat. I'll read that question and I'll get right to it. Okay. But I try in order to get to everybody. And I thank you guys for the comments. It's so nice to get on here and have content to talk about, and you guys ask questions and me be able to answer those. It flows so easy every week. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate the new watchers that we have with us. Thank you for joining us. And as I get down through here and get caught up, you guys keep leaving comments and we'll get to them. Okay. So if I skip one tonight, I apologize, but I know right now my little scroll bar is only about halfway down. So I know I'm way behind. All right. So we're going to try to get caught up. Steven says, look for the fish consumption recommendations for your area and maybe post is at the ramp. Yeah, maybe they do actually. In East Tennessee, Steven, they actually have fish consumption recommendations where you're only supposed to consume so many fish out of our lakes. Now, crappie aren't generally on that chart. No, that's generally sauger and catfish and walleye and striper, and there's some other fish that are on there, I believe. But anyway, crappie aren't generally on those, I don't think. I hadn't read one in a while, but maybe they are now. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, they recommend that you only eat so many fish over lakes. That's bad to say, ain't it? Yeah, that's bad to say. We're going to leave it at that. Trent says, took a friend out last week who has never seen live scope. We found tons of fish and couldn't get them to bite for anything. Finally, at the last hour, they turned on. It will not make them bite. You're right, Trent. It will not make them bite. And to be honest, I told Blake Sunday, I said, look, I'm glad we don't have live scope. It is so nice to not have live scope. And he was like, why? I said, because, well, actually, he said, yeah, it is. And then we talked about why. And he says, or I said, because the last time I was down here, there was literally like 300 or 400 fish under a dock, and I could not get one to eat. I couldn't get one to strike a jig. Like you could feel the line bouncing off the fish under the dock, but you couldn't get them to hit a jig. And it was so aggravating. I didn't have that problem. I mean, I knew there was fish down there, but I didn't have that problem. And then I made the mistake of driving by one dock after we fished it with side scan, and there was like 400 fish there. And it was like, why did we not catch but 2? That makes me mad. All right. So anyway, it will not make them bite. You're right. It won't. Heidi says there is something to say about the skill of fishing. You're right, Heidi. There is absolutely 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. There's something to say about the skill in fishing. There really is, and you know, you could look at it two ways. Live scope rather takes away from the skill, or live scope helps build the skill. Okay. What I mean by help build the skill is you can watch fish react to your jig. You learn a ton. You can see how they set up when they're active, how they set up when they're not active, where they feed, what side of the brush they're actually on, what they're relating to. Are they relating to a trunk of a tree? Are they relating to the branches on that tree? Are they relating to the root ball of that tree? Are they relating to, are they relating to a straight up and down pole on a dock? Are they relating to a float under a dock, a floating dock? You just see so much more and learn so much more than you do from side scan, because you can sit there and watch them react on a brush pile or on a dock. Are they lethargic and they're just suspended? Are they up high in the water column and active? Are they on the bottom because the current is rolling out on the main lake and it's got them stuck on the bottom so that they can get out of the current? There's just so many different things that you can learn from it. So don't look at it, Heidi, as a huge negative. Does it take some of the skill away? Yes, I'll give you that. It does. It takes some of that skill away. But it adds a whole nother perspective to our resume, if you will. Can I go catch fish without it? Yeah. Is that because I've honed my skills over the years? Yes, it is 100%. Do I consider myself skilled in every way, shape, form? No, I learn every day. I learn every time I'm on the water. I learn something, I assure you. Blake and I learned several different things when we were on the lake Sunday. There was a ton of suspended fish. I learned that there's more suspended fish in that lake than there is on structure. They were everywhere. It was ridiculous. So, troller's dream down there right now. But, you learn every day. Ashley says, for limit and tournament fishing, if you're fishing an area, creek, hollow, or in catching mostly small fish, how long will you stay in that area before making a move? What all will you try for bigger fish before leaving the area, like different depth structures, baits, etc.? So, very good question. If I'm fishing for a limit, if I'm just fun fishing, I don't really care, Ashley. If I'm catching fish, I'm catching fish. I'm having fun. If I'm catching, like I said, I throw 98%, 99%, 99.9% of the fish I catch get thrown back. So I really don't care. I really don't care if they're 3-pounders or 3-ounces. Catching fish, getting bit is fun. And I'm going to continue to fish that way. That's the way I'm going to continue to fish. I'm not jumping on the 3-pound train. I'm not jumping on 3-pound crappie train. I ain't doing it. I'm going to fish. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to stay having fun. So if I'm fun fishing, that's the way I'm fishing. If I'm catching fish, I'm catching fish. I went to a lake recently and I had a plan. I wanted to go look at new areas. I wanted to go find new stuff. I wanted to get out of the creek that I was putting in at, because I fish in that creek a lot. And I got there, I put in. It was a fun day, just fun fishing, just out having a good time. I've come across a couple new areas that had some stuff in them in the creek that I normally fished in, and I was just idling, and there were some other boats that trolling out in the main channel. So I got over the side and I found some new stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. So I just stopped and I started catching fish after fish after fish after fish, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in here today. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go fish. I found some new stuff in here. I'll stay here. And I stayed there and caught fish. So that's that side of it. If I'm just out limit fishing or fun fishing, I'm just out there to catch fish. Now, let's talk about the tournament side of things. I'm catching little fish in a tournament, I'm gone. I'm gone quick. If I'm in an area and I'm catching nothing but 10-inch fish, I'm gone. I'm not going to sit there and just catch fish after fish after fish after fish. I'm gone. So if you watch the live down at Chickamauga, I moved around a lot and I made long runs. Reason being is because I was trying to find a group of larger fish, trying to find a creek with larger fish, trying to find a dock with larger fish, trying to find a brush pile with larger fish. I needed bigger fish. I knew I needed bigger fish. I knew it was going to take 8 pounds to win. It took just under 8. I knew that's what I needed. I said that at the beginning of the day when I got on the live. I needed 8 pounds. Never got there, but I just kept moving. It's hard sometimes because you get somewhere where there's just a huge amount of fish that you just keep catching fish and you keep thinking to yourself, I'm going to catch a big one in a minute. There's a big one down there. I'm going to catch a big one in a minute. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you will. More times you won't. Okay. So if I catch 4 or 5 little fish, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm not sticking around. Now, if I catch 4 little fish and I throw back and catch a big one, I'll stick around a little bit longer to try to catch another big one. But if I catch 2 or 3 more little ones, I'm gone. All right. So new structure is your friend when you're tournament fishing. Okay. Jamie said, my dad said you don't need all those fancy things. We pulled up on a spot with him, deployed spot locks, stayed there for 5 hours, never touched trolling motor. He's in the market now. That's pretty funny. You know, it's the luxuries. It's the luxuries of fishing today, and they're very useful tools. They really are. They're useful tools, and if you're able to take advantage of them, they are fun. They are fun. So again, I don't shame anybody for the way they fish. Never will shame anybody for the way they fish. There used to be this whole battle back and forth in one area of East Tennessee that, you know, you were rather a troller or a single polar. You rather fished with 8 rods or you fished with 1 rod. And there was this battle back and forth about which one was better. And it was like, guys, why does that matter? We're all crappie fishermen. We're all out there for the same purpose, to catch crappie and have fun. Why are y'all going back and forth about who's better, what's better? There's no better. There's no, doesn't matter. So I don't know. I won't ever shame anybody for the way they fish, as long as you're fishing. And I don't care if you're catching stripe or bass or crappie or catfish or shad, or it just doesn't matter as long as you're fishing. Doesn't matter to me if you're using live scope, not using live scope. You got spot lock, don't got spot lock. You're running a 6-horse Evinrude from 1969, or you're running a 2020, Mercury Pro XS 250 horsepower running, screaming memes across the lake. Doesn't matter to me. And it shouldn't matter to the rest of us. I mean, we should never shame people for fishing, no matter how you're doing it. That's my opinion. You can get off that soapbox. You guys are going to get me started tonight. Anyway. Larry Merrick, what's up, Larry? He says, my dad never took me fishing. I don't know the area to know where the community holes are. If I didn't have a live scope, I wouldn't ever put fish in the boat. So there you go, guys. Thank you, Larry, for letting us know that. That's a gleaming example of how live scope has helped one angler be more successful and have fun fishing. Okay? That's what it's all about, guys. Doesn't matter if it's technological or not. Doesn't matter. I just if anyone hears anything tonight, I mean, part of the reason that I wanted to, or I put this out there, is because I want everyone to try to look at it from a neutral point of view. It doesn't matter if we're fishing with a technology or not. Okay. So there's a purpose behind it, and I think it's great. I really do. I think it's so great for so many people. Tony Tucker, what size screen do you use for live scope? I have a 93 SV. Now, my partner has a 1222, and we have a third 93 SV that is in a portable bag that we use because when we fish tournaments, we have 2 live scopes in the boat. Whether we're in my boat or his boat, we have 2 live scopes. Generally, if we fish out my boat, we have 2 9s. If we fish out his, we have a 9 and a 12. So, my opinion on screen size, and again, these are only opinions, guys. My opinion on screen size for the live scope: if you can't afford the 12, get the 9. If you can afford the 12, get the 12. All right. The 12 does have a larger picture, so your fish and your bait, they're going to look a little bigger because it's a bigger screen. Are they substantially bigger? No. Can you fish out with the 9 and see your bait and see the fish? Yes. But the 12 is a little bigger and the images are a little larger. The 10, in my opinion, is a no-go. And the reason I say that is because the difference between the 9 and the 10-inch screen, as far as price between the 9 and 10-inch screen, isn't worth it. The extra inch isn't worth the price difference. Now, the 3 inches between the 12 and the 9, my wife is standing at the door smiling at me. She's so pretty. She's distracting me. She's standing at my office door. Go ahead. Shoot. Where was I? Yes, the price difference between the 10 and the 9 isn't worth it. But if you can afford the 12, it is worth getting the 12. Okay. So, but if you're looking for an introductory unit, the 9 is fine. You can do everything you need to do with the 9. Heidi, around my area, I see posts of people keeping 100 plus crappie. I think that's sad. Yeah. I don't know their situation, Heidi, and I try to stay neutral and object or not be too not buy into what's going on there too much. I mean, they may have had 5 people out there and they may just be taking 20 apiece home. I don't know. So I try my best to stay on the neutral side of that. I see it too. And if the state allows them to do it, then hopefully they know where their population levels are and they know that the lake can sustain that. I will say this, Heidi. East Tennessee Crappie Club went to High Rock 3 years ago on a members trip. Well, when we got ready to go over there, I thought, okay, I'm going to call the wildlife division and I'm going to ask them, some simple questions. What are the creel limits? Where do we need to, can you give me a little advice on the lake? What are the water levels going to do? We're looking at coming there in November. Will the lake be fishable? Blah, 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 blah. So I called. I got one of the guys that was over the High Rock Lake, and I said, how many fish can we keep in a day? Because I'll have members that'll want to keep some fish. And he said, we don't have any limit on our crappie. I said, none? He said, nope. You can keep whatever you want, as many as you want. I was like, okay. I was like, so we come down and catch 400 fish, we can keep 400 fish? And he's like, yeah, if you want to. I was like, are you serious? I was like, why? I was like, are you not worried about your lake getting overfished? He said, Matt, listen. He said, the spawn on High Rock, he said, the spawn yield is so high. He said, we could bring every crappie angler in America down here and tell them to take as many as they can out of this lake, and it'll never outfish. He said, it'll never, ever, 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 we'll never outfish this lake or overfish this lake. He said, it's that high. He said, we are so overpopulated on High Rock with crappie that it stunts their growth. And if as many as they can catch out of this lake, we'll never have a fish over 10 inches. He said, it's that bad. I said, are you serious? And he said, I'm dead serious. He said, I'm dead serious. He said, we've done studies, we've done we've done netting, we've done testing, we've done stocked black nose fish to try to get an idea of the mortality rates. And he said, there is none. He said, I'm telling you. He said, every egg that hits the bottom of the lake in this lake hatches. And he said, it is that bad. We had a long conversation about it. So I try to stay neutral because I don't know what lake these guys are fishing. I don't know what spawns are like. I don't know what the population looks like. I don't know. So think about that a little bit and try to stay positive about it, Heidi. Try to stay neutral and just believe that as we continue in technology, if there is an issue, the wildlife divisions of each state will see that. Okay. Thomas Turner, hey Matt, what would be the smallest and lightest 12-volt battery and brand for a portable live scope system using Garmin 93 SV and LV32 limited budget? So my suggestion is going to be the Amped Outdoors, the 30 amp hour, Thomas. This is a 30 amp hour. Okay. Let me see. Do I have a dollar bill? I think I have $1 in my pocket. Let me see. Yeah, I got a dollar bill. All right. So Thomas, this battery, there's a dollar bill on this battery, on the face of this battery. Okay. So it's a little bit wider. It's hard to do that backwards. A little wider than $1. Okay. And the width is almost $1, and the height is about $1, close to it. Okay, so that gives you an idea. This is the 30 amp hour. Okay, it's not energized anymore. It's Amped Outdoors, but you get it. And it is light. I mean, this thing, you can pick it up. That's my pinky, and I'm not holding it on the bottom. Okay, I can hold that joker with my pinky all day long. It's like 6 pounds, I believe. I think it says it on the side, actually. No, it doesn't. But anyway, I believe it's like 6 pounds. It is very, very light. So for a portable setup, this is what we're running on our portable setup. So like I said, my fishing partner and I, we have a portable live scope unit. It runs off a 30 amp hour Amped Outdoors battery. You don't have to have the 30 amp hour. If you're looking for something even smaller, you could go with, I think they have a 16 amp hour. You could go with a 16. You're just, you're not going to be able to fish as long without charging it. You get a full 8-hour day out of it, but then you're going to have to charge it. So I can get 2 or 3 days out of that 30. A 16, get a day, maybe 2. So 8 hours anyway. Maybe a day, day and a half, actually, probably, if you run it nonstop. So maybe 12 hours, 14 hours. But that would be my recommendation to you. Okay. Oh, Heath, the $1 million question. The video of when you dropped the brush piles, did you have to get a permit for doing that? All right. Well, thank you for calling me out. I've been asked that question multiple times about that video. So look, TVA, there's 2 identities in East Tennessee. There's TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, who impounded our lakes, dammed our lakes, and impounded our lakes. TWRA, who is the Tennessee Wildlife officers. Okay. Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency is the game wardens. All right. TWRA understands, because I've talked to many different officers who I'm friends with and, well, acquaintances with. They understand there's a need for structure in our lakes. They know that it helps the fisheries. They understand that anglers need structure to fish to be productive and catch fish. It helps. So TWRA does not have a law that says you cannot put brush in the lake. All right. Now, with that being said, if they see you putting brush in the lake in 10 foot of water that's 12 foot tall and it sticks out of the lake 2 feet, probably going to say something to you, because that's at that point a danger to everyone else that uses the lake, because then you're putting artificial structure in a lake that somebody on a jet ski or a boat could fall on and get hurt. Now, if you're putting it in 25 feet of water and it's 8 feet tall, they aren't going to bust you down too bad. With that said, TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, does recommend getting a permit and having TWRA assist in putting structure in the lake. So that's kind of their law or rule. Not really law. It's more or less a suggestion, I think, in my opinion. So anyway, they do want you to do that. But there again, there is a lot of anglers out there that put brush in the lake, and you can draw your own conclusions from that information. Okay. Josh Sanders, you put a comment on there. I won't add to that, but yeah. So Rodman asks, what's your go-to bait on chick? Y'all aren't going to like that answer. Y'all are not going to like it. Grasshopper, stump bug, pumpkin, and chartreuse. You asked, Rodman. The bad thing is you can't get these anymore. I think I hold the last however many packs this is up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I think I have 2 in the boat, so 15, maybe 16 packs. I kind of own the last ones in America at the moment. But that's my go-to. You asked. I'm just telling you. That's my go-to on chick. So at the moment, I own the last packs in America. at the moment. So there you go. I always hate saying that, but it's true. That's my go-to. You asked, I'm honest. So anyway, let's see. Okay. Mr. JC Builder. So I'm not going to put this up there, Mr. JC, and for multiple reasons. But guys, if you read the comment from JC, please say a prayer for him. Glad to hear you're going home tomorrow. I don't know what to say, buddy. Hope you get well soon. Hope you get better real quick. And I hate to hear that. For multiple reasons, I can't put that up there, but hope you get better quick, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Major Brown, Matt, what did you or did not like about Hummingbirds compared to Lourance or Garmin? Just curious. Okay, this the Hummingbirds I had. Now I have not had the Megas, but I've seen the Megas. I have taken some guys out in their boat with the Megas, and they're horrible. I mean, look. It may just be my eyes. My eyes just may not see well on a Hummingbird screen. I don't know. But I was running over full trees, Major. I'm talking full trees that I fished for 10 years and could not see them on their graph. And I'm like, what in the world is wrong with this unit? And the unit I had was the same way. There was one tree that the trunk was as big around as the hood of my truck, and it was sticking out of the ground 2 feet. And this tree is like 60 feet long. And I drove right over the top of it, and it didn't show up on the graph. And I'm like, where's it at? That's ridiculous. I was like, no. So I got out of Hummingbirds real quick. Now, I have been on people's boat with the Megas, and yeah, they are better than the one I had, but they are not a Lourance, and they're not a Garmin. That's just my opinion. And it may just be my eye. I mean, I've said it on a previous live that it seems to me like the different units fit different eyes differently. Your eye may see a Hummingbird screen better than a Lourance screen. And I've seriously had guys come back and say, I can't see anything on Lourance. It's just bottom. There's just nothing there. I can't make out nothing. But I look at my Hummingbird and I can see every twig, and it's like, I don't know how, but okay. So I almost think it's the way our eyes interpret the different palettes more so than it is, and by palettes, I mean colors, more so than it is the units, but I could be wrong. Let's see. I'm trying to read through your comments here, guys, and see. And pour my Sprite into my cup. That probably just made all kinds of racket. All right. Kenny Sparks says, I get to come up from Alabama once in the spring and fish Chickamauga. Really love that area. Nice quality of fish and have a great time. Yeah, generally there's a very good quality of fish. This year it's been a little down, Kenny, to be honest with you. Chickamauga just has not been producing the size fish that it typically has in the past. And could that be due to some fishing pressure? Maybe. Chickamauga gets publicized a lot, and it gets fished a lot. So, could it be fishing pressure? Now, the numbers of fish are there. Then also 4 years ago, we had a very, very wet spring and several floods in East Tennessee 4 years ago. And they raised and dropped our lakes a bunch. And could we have had a missed spawn that year? Well, actually, I take that back. We know we had a missed spawn that year because we caught fish with eggs through July with eggs in them. Now they were deteriorating, but they still had eggs. So we know there was somewhat of a missed spawn that year. Could we be seeing some of the results of that 4 years later with the larger fish? Absolutely, we could. So for that purpose, the numbers again are there, but the size is down a little. Andy Perry, hey man, I'm thinking my loop knot is too big in the knot and my loop as well. Can you explain how you tie yours, please, and demonstrate? Absolutely. Let me get some line, first of all. I'm going to use braid so that you guys can see it. Because if I use fluorocarbon or something, you won't be able to see that. And let me find a jig. Do I have one out? Yeah, I got some right here. All right, loop knot. All right, so how do I tie a loop knot? Let me see if I can get up here close. Okay. Andy, I'm going to get rid of your comment here, buddy. Loop knot, all right? So jig, line goes through the eye, obviously, of the jig, okay? I pull about 12 to 14 inches of tag line out, okay? Hang on. All right. 12 to 14 inches of tag line, grab both the tag line and the main line, okay? Come right down here just above the jig head. I take 2 fingers, all right? Grab it right above the jig head, okay? Then I take the line and wrap it around these 2 fingers, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, okay? So I got 2 wraps around my fingers. See the 2 wraps? Now the jig's sitting down here. Then I take this jig, in between my 2 fingers. I slide this jig in between my fingers inside the line through the loop, okay? Now, through the loop, okay? So now I have the jig through the loop, tag line, main line up here, okay? Slid it through. And I just start cinching it down. So I've got it very, very close to the head of the jig. See that? And I grab it right there on the knot. I grab the main line, the tag line, and I just start easing it down. See that first loop going in? All right. That first loop goes through. And I just start easing it. Keep pulling, keep pulling. Just yank her down. Okay. There's my loop knot. So that's got about 1 inch. Well, 3/4. So that knot's 3/4 of an inch from the eye. And I've got me a nice tight knot and a loop. Can you guys make that out? Okay. Right there. There's your loop knot. I'll do it again. I'm going to do it a little quicker. I say I'm going to. I got to have a knife because I cannot bite braid. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so let's cut this off. All right, do it one more time. Line goes through the eye, 12 to 14 inches. Grab both the main line and the tag line, 2 fingers, grab it right down by the head, wrap it once, twice, okay? Go in between your fingers, in between the loop. Go through the loop with the jig. You see that? Pull it around. Main line and tag line, main end and tag end. And just start cinching it down. Pull it tight. Gotta love braid. Ow. Do-do-do-do. Loop knot. Okay, that simple. That's how I tie mine. All right. Jimmy says, back in the summer, you posted a video of dropping buckets. Have you went back and fished them, and how you do? You know, the funny thing is I haven't been back and fished them. I have not. Swear I haven't went back. That's pretty bad, isn't it? I know I have not. I have not went back and fished those spots. Need to go back and fish them and see if I do any good off of them. But to date, I haven't. That's why I just don't drop a whole lot anymore. I had those sitting around forever and they were kind of deteriorating. So I had to get them in the lake. But no, I hadn't been back and fished them. I've got so much other stuff. It's hard to fish it all in a day. Michael 6. This was my first year tourney fishing, and I whined about live scope guys winning. Then I got live scope and placed worst. Okay. I stopped fishing my style, and it hurt me. It can. Look, live scope can hurt you, no doubt. And I'll tell you why, because a lot of times I've seen it before. A lot of people get live scope, and all of a sudden I'm not going to say get worse. I'm just going to say they waste more time because they see fish and they're like, these fish should bite. I can catch these fish. I'm just not using the right color. Or I'm just not using the right bait, or I'm just not using something. I'm not giving it to them in the right presentation. Sometimes they just won't bite, guys. They just won't. You just won't catch them. You can sit there and watch them all day. They just won't bite. You won't catch them. So live scope has hurt a lot of people. So I will say, Michael, if you're on fish and they're not biting, leave those fish. Go find active fish. That helped me out tons. I always had that mindset, but once I got live scope and could see them, I had to relearn that mindset. Okay. Whoa, Jimmy, come on now. Matt, during the Loudon tournament, you fishing with the ACC rods is cheating. You should use cane poles. No, no, sir. All is fair in love and war, my friend. I'm taking my ACCs and I'm slapping some lips. I'm smacking lips down, ripping them in the boat, slinging them, swaying them, weighing them, throwing them in the live well. Nope. I'm gonna be on fire for Loudon. Hopefully, as sure as I say that, I won't catch any. But I do love Loudon. Loudon's a great lake, and I absolutely love the heck out of fishing it. So it should be a great event. I think that it's going to be. We're going to have a great turnout. There'll be a lot of people there, and it'll be a fun event. So we'll see. Cessna 152. While you're on the subject of dropping brush, what's your stance on the new plastic habitats everyone is pushing? Cessna, are you talking about like the mossback fish rack and the American fish tree and all that stuff? The plastic, I think that's what you're talking about. I'll be honest, my opinion or stance, my stance on that is, they're not ever going to deteriorate, and put in the right areas, they can be great fish attractors. Okay. They'll last a lifetime and they will not pollute the lake. But they're expensive to put in a lake. So I'm cheap. I'm a cheap buck and I like cheap. So to answer your question, they're a little rich for my blood, to be honest. Now they work, I'll say that. But I just don't want to pay $100+ or something and then take it and go, bye. It's just hard for me to do, buddy. That's just my opinion. Steven said, I think I saw in that battery label only charge above 32 degrees. I did not know that about lithiums. Yeah, so let's just read the things on this label real quick. Okay. Use only with recommended battery charger. Do not dismantle or short circuit the battery. That's a given. Don't tinker with lithium. Do not place the battery near resources of heat such as heating, direct sunlight, or open flame. Do not place battery in fluids such as salt water, acid, or alkaline. If stored for a long time, keep battery cool and dry and fully charge the battery every 3 months. Okay? And if the battery housing is damaged, do not use. That's a given as well. It says operation temperature, -20 to plus 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's a colder than -20, you don't want to use this thing. Or hotter than 140, you don't want to use it. Okay. Storage temperature, 40 to 80 degrees. It says plus 40 to plus 80 degrees for storage temperature. So for you guys that say, oh, I want to leave it in my boat and I leave my boat outside under the carport, if it gets below 40 degrees, you don't want your lithium sitting outside. All right. Bring it in. That's the beauty of having such a light battery, is you can bring it in out of the boat and you don't have to worry about it dying on you. You don't have to worry about one of the cells dying. Okay. 95% of the time when guys say, I bought a blank battery and it died in 8 months, it's junk. Did they take care of it the way the manufacturer recommended? I leave not my lithium, but I leave my lead acid batteries on trickle chargers year round. Knock on wood, because I could have one die on me tomorrow. But I think I've had, well, the cranking battery came in my boat. I have no idea how long it was in there before me, but it's been in there almost 2 years since I've had it. And it was used, I mean, it was in the boat when I bought it. And the 2 trolling motor batteries I have been in my boat for 2 years and are still rocking and rolling like brand new. Knock on wood. And I could have one die tomorrow, but if it does, I've got my life out of them. And I leave them, like I said, I leave them on a charger maintainer. I do leave those in the boat, so they do get cold, but they're on a charger maintainer. They can, as long as you've got current going to those batteries, it's okay to leave them outside. All right. It's okay to leave them in the boat when it's cold. My boat does not sit outside. It stays inside, but it's not climate controlled. So that's my 411 on batteries. And then it says charging temperature. It says 32 to 110. So yeah, you don't want to charge it if it's under 32. So again, if you leave this in the boat and it's going to be 20 at night, don't charge it. All right. Actually, don't leave it in there. If it's going to get below 40, you need to take your battery out of the boat. So. Ronnie Harris says, do you ever use a loop knot on dock shooting? That's the only knot I use. I very rarely tie a fisherman's knot, clinch knot. Some guys call it a beehive's knot. I very rarely ever tie another knot, Ronnie, anymore. Most everything I do is done with a loop knot. The only thing I do not tie a loop knot on is crankbaits. I will tie a clinch knot on crankbaits. Okay. So. Larry says, is it just Chick that is low, or is Watts Bar low too? Fell off the ramp on Chick. Do not want to repeat that. I'm not sure about Watts Bar. Hadn't been there lately, but you can go to TVA has an app you can put on your phone. It's a TVA lake levels map, and you can get on or app, and you can get on there and look at the lake levels. You can look at summer pool, winter pool, and where they're currently at. So that gives you an idea of where everything's at. It's a great app. If you're in East Tennessee and you don't have the TVA Lake Levels map or app, I keep saying map. If you don't have the TVA Lake Levels app, I suggest getting it. It's a great tool. Okay. And it'll help you with what they're running, what the current's going to be like, all these different things that it does for you. So anyway, all right. Looks like I've gotten to the bottom of my feed. I'm going to call it a night. It's been a little over 2 hours, which is a good night for us. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate all the comments from everybody. I appreciate the super chats tonight. And don't forget, guys, we still have 60 people on. Don't forget, all the Wired for Crappie merch that you see behind me is on sale on the website, www.wiredforcrappie.com. And it will only be on sale through tonight. Tomorrow, it will go back to regular pricing. Right now, it's 15 to 20% off for Cyber Monday. And I wanted to extend that to the Wired fam tonight, give you the opportunity to save some money on all the Wired merch, the hats, the cups, the shirts, the hoodies, the beanies, everything's on sale. Go check it out. Pick yourself up some merchandise. We'll get it shipped out to you tomorrow, okay? I appreciate y'all for watching. And as always, guys, God bless. We'll see you later.